Goliath's height. The battle between the young King David and the giant Philistine Goliath in the Old Testament book of Samuel is well known and perhaps needs no introduction. The encounter is often depicted in cartoons and children's books, a tiny boy up against a colossus. The giant, as described in the English Bibles used in churches today in 1 Samuel chapter 17 verse 4, reads like this: "A champion named Goliath, who was from Gath, came out of the Philistine camp. His height was 6 cubits and a span." This height would by modern estimates be a little less than 10 feet tall, towering over the tallest recorded man ever, Robert Wadlow. As stated before, this height originates in the Masoretic text, or MT, written around the late 1st millennium AD. However, all the oldest copies of this book and verse, such as the Septuagint, and notably the Dead Sea Scrolls from the 1st century BC, render Goliath's height as a much shorter 4 cubits and a span, or 6 feet 9 inches, a more historically plausible and realistic height when compared to the other reading. This shorter Goliath is also confirmed by other historical non-biblical texts, such as the writings of the historian Josephus in the 1st century AD. It seems like the older 4 cubits and a span reading was the original text of Samuel, as opposed to the 6 cubits and a span reading. Christian scholar and Professor J. Daniel Hayes agrees with this assessment and argues for reducing Goliath's height in modern Bibles. The motivation for this change seems likely to have been that of a tall tale, literally in this case. Later scribes perhaps wanting to make David's achievement of slaying a formidable opponent even more impressive, just as a fisherman is prone to exaggerate the length of his catch in retellings of his story. Over time, Goliath went from an abnormally, but yet plausible height to a monster out of mythology and legend.